On the 28th of August 2012, Guild Wars 2 released. Myself, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this video, followed this game religiously, watching every class skills trailer and counting down the days till release. This game really did look like it was going to be something special. I did not have any friends who enjoyed the MMO genre quite like I did, but I still have a few fond memories of playing the game solo and remembering the love I had for MMO games growing up. A love that unfortunately has dwindled over the years. But after discovering the same game case I bought 13 years ago, one thing was certain. I needed to play Guild Wars 2. I decided to try and install the game through the disc. I thought it would be a fun idea to see if the disc actually still worked. Maybe I'll just download the installer through the website. Okay, let me just... Now all I need to do is log in and... customer support. And so I just installed the game through Steam. With the game now downloading, I decided to watch a beginner's guide to recap my knowledge on the game. Funnily enough, it was a Josh Strife Hayes video that was on top of the list, but unfortunately I didn't have my second monitor plugged in. Finally, it was time to start the game. I decided to create a human Necromancer for my first character. I always choose a mage class in RPG games, even better when they can summon creatures. I appreciate the fact that you can create the character that you want to in Guild Wars 2, unlike the Necromancer I made in Diablo. No matter how hard I tried, they always came out looking like Marilyn Manson just walked out of Blacktown. My first quest was to head to the inn and receive orders from Sergeant Walter. I got some news that the garrison was overwhelmed and needed some reinforcements, so I proceeded to run down the wrong path. Eventually I got to the garrison and I needed to protect it from a horde of centaurs until the gates could open. So far the tutorial to the game was going good. I was learning about combat and getting a really good feel for the pace of the game. Battling the hordes of centaur warriors with other players felt good. And then the centaur leader arrived. The leader's health began to drop rapidly and it was obvious that they was leading us away to something. And this is what I remember about Guild Wars 2. Thrown into an epic battle at level 1, I still remember when it was launch day and a lot more players were running around. Even though my skills have dwindled over the years, I still managed to enjoy the combat and the spectacle that was happening on screen. And after a glorious battle, the Greater Earth Elemental exploded, leaving the area decimated and our character unconscious. As my character awoke, I found myself in the land of Tyria, and while I was free to head in any direction I wanted, I thought it was a nice touch to start me in front of an NPC that would allow me to scout the area and tell me that there were points of interest scattered all over the land, and maybe I should go and check them out. Before I could begin my journey, I got distracted by a character called Mikhail with the tag "God walking amongst me immortals." I really did question if this was a player character or an actual god. Maybe it was both. After I finished praying, I made my way over to a farm where I could help out the farmer by doing small jobs. Tending to corn, stomping out worm mounds. These types of quests were actually quite fun, and it turns out that you do get rewards for these quests. I just didn't realise until way later. But that didn't stop me. I decided to run around the land helping out as many people as I could. As soon as I hit level 10, I got the quest to head to the city and start something that kind of seemed like a main quest. I went to the pub to meet some friends, I got into a bear fight, infiltrated an underground gang to learn more about their plans to burn down an orphanage, and finally, I wore the skin of the bandits to trick the real villain behind this story. Or as we would call it in England, Saturday night. With the quest completed, I was free to head where I wanted, and that would lead us to the next chapter. Revisiting Guild Wars 2 after all these years reminded me of why I fell in love with MMOs in the first place. Not just for the combat or the quests, but for the feeling of stepping into a world of discovery. Before finishing the game to edit this video, I decided to create a new character and see just how far the game could pull me back in. Before I knew it, I'd hit level 29 and honestly, I didn't want to stop. It's been a great solo experience, but I can't help thinking how much more fun this would have been with friends, whether it's old guildmates or new allies I've just yet to meet. These worlds just feel a lot better when you share the adventure. I even decided to start streaming the journey on Twitch, just to share the adventure with all my followers. Everybody turned up, it was good. Okay, are we all ready for a good time? Alright. It may not be 2012 anymore, but the magic, it's still there. If you've ever played Guild Wars 2 or maybe drifted away from MMOs like I did, I hope this video reminded you of what made them special to begin with. And if you are new, well, there's no better time to jump in. And to everyone who's made it this far, thank you. Genuinely, it means a lot. If you've had your own journey through Guild Wars 2 or any other MMO that stuck with you, share it in the comments. I'd love to read them, and I'm sure many others would too. If you'd like to follow along as this adventure continues, then please consider subscribing. There's plenty more to come. Once again, everyone, thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next chapter.